After the first harvest, the whole family had a new idea. Vegetables from the little garden are ready to go into the kitchen. Preparing to cook is also a fun part. It doesn't need to be perfect, just try. Cooking always has unexpected moments. Homegrown vegetables have a very special taste. Meals taste better when they are made together. From the little garden to a happy meal. One fine day, the family decided to wash their beloved car. When you're too excited, things can easily become excessive. Doing things the right way makes the job easier. Saving money is part of caring for the environment. Safety is always paramount. It's okay to make a small mistake, as long as you know how to correct it. Being tidy helps things finish faster. When working together, the joy always outweighs the fatigue. The memory box. A quiet afternoon. A small box sits in the center of the table. A handwritten label on the outside reads, "Memories." Dad looks around and gently opens a drawer. He takes out an old key, worn by time. Smiling softly, he places it into the box. Mom stands by the shelf. She takes a neatly folded old photograph, gently smooths the corner, then places it into the box. Sister runs back to her room. She brings out a slightly worn hair ribbon. She looks at it for a moment longer, then puts it in. Little brother quietly bends down to the floor. He picks up a small, scratched toy, nods to himself, and places it into the box. The whole family sits in a circle. The box is placed in the middle. Dad opens the lid. The first item is taken out. Everyone looks at each other, pointing, guessing. As each item appears, surprised gestures, soft nods, gentle laughter. As the items are laid back on the table, the family sits closer together. A peaceful morning. A small garden full of life.
Whoa!
But something is no longer the same as yesterday. Someone seems to have visited this garden. The traces left behind tell a mysterious story. The culprit turns out to be incredibly familiar. When someone makes a mistake, it's important to recognize it. Sharing the right way makes everyone happy. When we correct mistakes together, everything starts to grow again. A beautiful garden.
Wow!
Is a garden cared for together.
Huh?
When we know how to respect, joy will sprout every day. A beautiful morning is perfect for a walk around the neighborhood.
Oh.
Walking together is a simple way to discover familiar things. Safety is always paramount on every trip. Knowing when to wait helps avoid unnecessary risks.
Okay.
Following directions makes it easier for everyone to move around.
Oh!
Yes!
Okay, let's go!
Small habits create long-term safety.
Thank you very much.
Slowing down allows you to see more beautiful things around you.
Oh.
A safe walk brings joy and peace of mind to the whole family. Staying in the correct lane helps everyone share a safe space. A safe walk brings joy and peace of mind to the whole family.
Paperman team. Welcome back to the secret base, bathroom. Today, Bluey and Bingo have a super difficult challenge. Transform into the Paperman squad.
Wow!
Bingo is in position. She's about to step into the transforming machine. Are you ready? Bluey's design team is getting to work. Each pristine white sheet of paper is forming a super armor suit. Wow, that looks so professional.
Uh-oh.
Oh my goodness, a technical glitch. The roll of paper is flying everywhere. Both sisters are stuck in this mess. It's impossible to untangle, and the more you try, the more tangled it gets. Look, now they look more like two giant snowballs than superheroes. Come on, guys. Target spotted. It's Dad Bandit. Get ready to activate super scare mode. 3, 2, 1. Boom! Ha ha ha! Dad was so scared. Mission to scare him was a resounding success. Yeah. But wait. The final boss, Mother Chili, has appeared. Oh no, who's going to clean up this mess now?
Bluey and Bingo found the treasure. Just turn away for a moment. The treasure moved. The treasure seemed to be teasing them. Every time they didn't look, the treasure moved. They decided to observe carefully. The treasure finally stayed still. After breakfast, the dining table needs to be tidied up. When starting out with small tasks, everyone can be a little clumsy. Slowing down makes things easier to manage. Observing the correct way to do things helps make the job tidier. Working together makes things easier. Being careful in each small step helps avoid making more mess. Correcting mistakes helps the work continue smoothly. Clearly visible results bring a very pleasant feeling. Completing small tasks by hand helps children gain more confidence. Maintaining a tidy routine every day keeps the home warm and inviting. Bluey discovered an empty corner in the garden. Bluey decided to plant a new tree. Bluey began preparing the planting spot. Bluey wanted the tree to be planted in a suitable place. The small tree was placed down very gently. Bluey watered the newly planted tree. Bluey tried placing the tree in a cooler spot. Bingo also wanted to help plant the tree. The small tree gradually took root in the soil. Bluey marked the planting spot for the new tree.
Wow.
The garden looked more beautiful with the new tree. A small tree can also bring great joy. The secret painting. A large sheet of drawing paper is spread out on the floor. Paints, brushes, and crayons are placed around it. Mom, Dad, sister, and little brother look at one another. Dad gestures a rectangle in the air. We draw together. Dad sits down at one corner of the paper. Using a brush, he paints a simple house. Lines a bit rough but solid. Mom chooses soft colors. She paints flowers, trees, and the sky. Each stroke slow and gentle. Sister picks bright colors. She draws smiling people, arms and legs a little long, full of lively expression. Little brother sits right down on the floor. With crayons, he draws a big sun, coloring outside the lines, smudging a bit. The family steps back a few steps, seeing the whole painting for the first time. The house is off-center from the sun. The trees are bigger than the people. Colors don't match, lines overlap. They look at one another and burst out laughing. The garden had so many plants that Bluey easily got confused while tending them. Bluey decided to draw a map of the garden. The map was checked right in the garden. Bingo and Bluey learned how to read the garden map. The map helped Bluey tend to each plant more accurately. The whole family used the map to tend the garden. The garden was properly cared for. Thanks to the garden map, tending the plants became easier and more fun. A long, rainy day, when outdoor plans have to be put on hold. But rain doesn't mean the fun is over. When the scenery changes, emotions change too. A little clumsiness makes a rainy day more enjoyable. When we're together, everywhere feels warm. A rainy day is a chance to slow down. When imagination speaks, rain becomes music. No need to go far, just be together. A rainy day can also become the most memorable day. One cool morning, Bluey and Bingo discovered strange footprints in the grass.
Let's go. Aha.
But in just a moment, the footprints began to disappear.
Aha.
Each step left a unique mark. No two were alike. Some footprints were distinct, and others were easily forgotten. Finally, the wind erased all traces. Footprints may disappear, but joy remains.
Bluey goes on a treasure hunt.
Broken window. A calm afternoon. A balloon floats gently in the air. The younger brother takes a run up and throws the balloon high. The balloon clips the edge of the window. Crash! The glass shatters, shards clinking as they scatter across the floor. The whole family freezes. Dad puts on gloves, carefully gathering each piece of glass. Mom lays down a large sheet of cardboard to cover the floor. The sister passes tape and a small broom. The younger brother hands over a cleaning cloth, stepping lightly. The last shard is placed into the bin. The family exhales in relief. Dad lifts the new glass panel, his hands slightly trembling. Mom holds the window frame, eyes focused. The glass slides perfectly into place. Dad tightens the screws. Mom checks the seal along the edges. Sunlight pours through the new window. The family looks at one another and smiles. A beautiful weekend day! The family decided to exercise together. Warming up is an important step, even though everyone has their own way. The first game. Start simply. Not everyone. When playing with family, no one is left behind. The joy of sports helps the body feel more relaxed. When the family exercises together, every day becomes healthier and happier. A beautiful weekend day, a little tired. Today, the whole family planted a new tree. Everything looks fine.
Yay!
Oh.
Bandit feels something isn't quite right. The tree's name doesn't match its shape.
Oh.
It turns out the sign was stuck upside down. Just a little adjustment was all it took. The garden looks neat again. Sometimes you just need to look a little closer.
Huh?
Behind the house was a small, fascinating forest. Bluey began her exploration. A small path led Bluey deeper into the forest. Each tree trunk had a different shape. The small forest looked vibrant. The journey included small challenges. It was cooler inside the forest than outside. Bingo also wanted to explore with Bluey.
Huh?
There were many new things in the forest. The exploration gradually came to an end. Everyone reunited after the trip. A small forest can also offer a great adventure. Early to bed. Mom raises a finger and gestures. Early bedtime tonight. Dad and the kids nod seriously. The clock flips to 9 p.m. Everyone is still in the living room. The child sleeps peacefully. Dad sits upright, wide awake. Mom checks the clock, then sits back down. The clock reads 10 p.m. Dad has turned on the TV and is fully engaged. Mom sits beside him, scrolling on her phone. The child continues sleeping soundly. The clock shows 11 p.m. Dad changes TV channels. Mom smiles at her phone screen. The child shifts position slightly, still asleep. Mom looks up at the clock. Eyes widen. She looks at Dad. Dad looks back, sheepish. They both glance at the couch. The kid has been asleep forever.
The mystery of the missing sock. One morning, Bluey was in big trouble. Her lucky sock had disappeared. Bingo decided to ask his dad.
Oh,
Dad, have you seen Bluey's socks? Dad Bandit thought for a moment, then shook his head, saying he didn't know. Bluey ran straight into the kitchen. Mum, have you seen my sock? Chili's mum shook her head, not knowing where the sock was either. Dad and Mum went out to the backyard to help, and lo and behold, Mum Chili had discovered something. Aha! It turns out the wind blew it onto the clothesline. Dad Bandit has caught the hide-and-seeker. Bluey is overjoyed to get her lucky sock back. The Healer family always helps each other out like that. See you next time.
Bingo has a stomachache. One energetic morning, the two sisters decided to go out and exercise. Sports don't need to be perfect. Just bring joy. And then a new friend joined in. When things get too exciting, things can go a little too far. Joy is only complete when everyone feels comfortable. Understanding each other better is the first step to a fun game. When everyone adjusts together, the game becomes harmonious. Sports isn't about winning or losing, but about bonding. A little tired, but very happy. When you know how to play together, every fun activity becomes meaningful. Bluey decided to take a short trip to the forest. The trip began with some light preparations. The path into the forest revealed many new things. The forest offered a sense of peace and tranquility. Bingo and Bluey explored the forest. A break made the trip even more fulfilling. The forest trip continued with many interesting things. The trip to the forest brought simple and memorable joys. These familiar toys have been here for a long time. It's time to take care of them. Every toy needs gentle treatment. Chili teaches how to fix the little things. Repairing is also a way of showing love. Old toys look like new. The memories are still there. They just need to be cared for. Old toys bring new joy. A familiar morning when the wardrobe is overflowing. Clothes can also become a game. Whoa! A little confusion adds to the fun. But to be tidy requires organization. When you know how to categorize, everything becomes easier to find. Every small task requires patience. When you cooperate, even difficult tasks become easy. Tidy brings a pleasant feeling. A well-organized wardrobe helps each day start better. When you know how to maintain it, your home is always the most pleasant place.
A lightning-fast cleanup in 2 minutes. Only 2 minutes left. Mom and Dad are almost home, but the living room looks like a toy battlefield. The race against time begins. Bluey is in command. Bingo is executing. Not a single piece is allowed to be out of place. Bingo tried her best with her little hands. A slight misstep didn't discourage her because Bluey was right behind her, providing support. Everyone had a task. Some took care of the upper floors, others cleaned the lower ones. The pace of cleaning the Healer house had never been so frantic. This is the hardest part. 1, 2, 3. A fantastic teamwork between the two sisters. Almost done. Bluey is using its versatile tail, while Bingo is meticulously smoothing out each thread on the carpet. The door opened. A spotless room and 2 radiant smiles. The lightning-fast cleaning mission, a resounding success.
The Cleanup Squad. The playroom looks like a toy battle just happened. Bluey and Bingo have played hard, but now it's time to tidy up. Mom Chili enters with a gentle smile. She signals that it's time to send all the toy friends back to their homes. Bluey turns cleaning into a game. The sisters pretend to be cleanup robots on a special rescue mission. Robot Bluey gathers the red blocks, while Robot Bingo takes charge of the blue ones. The cleaning race is on. There's a giant passenger in need of help. Together, the sisters join forces to carry the big teddy bear back to its spot. The last few pieces are finally found. The room begins to appear clean, tidy, and spacious once again. Mom returns and is so impressed. Bluey and Bingo high-five, celebrating their successful mission. Today, the whole family decided to bake a cake. But things didn't go exactly as planned. Bandit tried to adjust the cake. The more he adjusted, the more misshapen it became. The cake was put in the oven with high hopes. And then, the cake started to take on a very strange shape. The cake wasn't pretty, but it was fun. Most importantly, it was the fun of making it together. Bluey wanted to transform her backyard into a vibrant picnic area. Colorful items began to appear. The picnic mat was prepared first. The backyard gradually became more lively. Bingo also helped Bluey decorate the picnic area.
Aha!
The picnic area was gradually completed.
Aha!
Bluey tested each corner to make sure everything was comfortable. With just familiar items, the backyard became a colorful and joyful picnic area. A fresh morning is perfect for the whole family to do some light exercise. Warming up prepares the body for the activities that follow. Everyone has their own way of exercising, but they're all lovely. Gentle exercise makes the body feel more relaxed.
Oh!
No need to compare because everyone has their own pace. Breathing evenly helps to improve mood. Simple exercise is enough to bring positive energy.
Aha!
Drinking water after exercise is a very important habit. Moments of rest help the body recover better. Starting the day with light exercise helps the whole family stay healthy and happy. The simple fishing rod. Quiet. Lakeside/riverside. Dad arrives with a fancy fishing rod, tackle box, and folding chair. Son stands beside him, empty-handed, watching curiously. Dad casts the line confidently. The float sits on the water, perfectly still. Dad waits, checks his watch, sighs softly. The son looks around, finds a tree branch, ties a simple string to it, adds a tiny hook, drops it into the water, just for fun. Dad doesn't notice. The string suddenly tugs hard. The son's eyes widen. He pulls up the branch. A fish! The son freezes for a moment, then grins proudly. Dad turns around, looks at the fish, looks at his expensive fishing rod, looks at the stick. Dad bursts out laughing, shaking his head in disbelief. Dad pats the son's head proudly. They sit side by side, watching the water together. The fish swims calmly in a small bucket. The garden had so many plants that Bluey easily got confused while tending them. Bluey decided to draw a map of the garden. The map was checked right in the garden.
Huh?
Bingo and Bluey learned how to read the garden map.
Huh?
The map helped Bluey tend to each plant more accurately. The whole family used the map to tend the garden. The garden was properly cared for. Thanks to the garden map, tending the plants became easier and more fun. Fixing the bike in the yard afternoon. A bicycle is leaning against the wall. The back tire is flat, completely deflated. Dad bends down and squeezes the tire. He shakes his head and sighs. Dad grabs a hand pump and attaches it to the valve. Mom stands beside him, holding the bike frame firmly. Sister runs into the house. She brings out a wrench and a cleaning rag. Little brother bustles around, hands over the wrong tool, then quickly switches. The wheel spins hard. The bike suddenly tilts. Mom almost slips. Dad quickly grabs the bike. Whoosh! The wheel pops off the axle and rolls fast across the yard. Little brother runs after it. Sister runs too. The whole yard erupts in chaos. Dad puts the wheel back on. Dad pumps a few more times. Dad spins the wheel to test it. Mom pushes the bike to the center of the yard. Sister hops on and rides a lap. The bike rolls perfectly. Little brother claps and cheers. Mom and Dad laugh together. Bluey discovered an empty corner in the garden. Bluey decided to plant a new tree. Bluey began preparing the planting spot. Bluey wanted the tree to be planted in a suitable place. The small tree was placed down very gently. Bluey watered the newly planted tree. Bluey tried placing the tree in a cooler spot. Bingo also wanted to help plant the tree. The small tree gradually took root in the soil. Bluey marked the planting spot for the new tree. The garden looked more beautiful with the new tree. A small tree can also bring great joy. A peaceful morning begins with looking back at familiar things. Sometimes, all it takes is a little color. And then, an enthusiastic friend comes to help. you're too enthusiastic, things can get a little overdone. Knowing how to choose the right approach makes the job easier. When everyone contributes, the picture comes alive. A little mess creates memorable moments.
A few minutes later.
When the work is finished, joy is evident in every color. A small task also brings about great bonding.
Huh?
When we beautify the house together, joy is also colored. Bluey and Bingo were preparing for a treasure hunt. But the weather had other plans. The treasure map started changing. The whole family decided to follow the new map. But the treasure didn't appear. Maybe they misunderstood.
Hey! Hey!
The treasure was right where they started. Sometimes the treasure doesn't go anywhere. It's just that the map got wet.
A day in the life of Bluey.
Huh.
The great cleanup battle morning. Mom stands in the middle of the living room, hands on her hips. She takes a deep breath, then gives a strong signal. Clean up! The whole family jumps. They look around at the piles of clutter. Dad takes the mop. Sister hugs a stack of clothes. Little brother drags a box of toys. Dad mops too hard. Water splashes onto the couch and the wall. Sister finishes folding. The stack tilts. Crash! Clothes spill everywhere. Little brother stuffs toys into the box. The box gets too full. Pop! Toys fly all over the floor. The family stands in the middle of the room, staring at the new chaos. Mom steps into the center, signals to start over. Everyone works in rhythm. The room gradually becomes tidy again. The living room is clean and bright. They look at one another, then burst out laughing. The living room was a mess. Bluey realized Dad was about to come home. Bluey quickly looked around the messy room. Bluey started cleaning up quickly. Cleaning up too quickly caused trouble. Bingo ran in, helping to hold the box so Bluey could close the lid.
Aha!
Whoa! Time flew by. The room gradually became tidier. Dad arrived home just in time. Bluey had finished cleaning up before Dad got home.
Wow!
One leisurely afternoon, Chili decided to organize a special activity. But for Bluey, playing sports always has to be different. A mini racetrack created right inside the house. The rules are simple, but the outcome is unpredictable. Winning isn't always guaranteed. But patience always brings joy. Sports don't need to be complicated. Just play together. A day of light exercise, but full of laughter.